40 years ago yesterday, Patrolman Cardillo and his partner, Vito Navarra, were on radio motor patrol in his 28 precinct. When at approximately 11:30 a.m., they received a 1013 at 116th Street. They immediately responded to the scene. Upon arrival, they enter a building through an open door. They entered the building and they heard noises coming from the second floor. So they both ran up the stairs. As they're running up the stairs, they're confronted by 20 individuals who threw them down the stairs and began to beat them up. Meanwhile, another radio car also got into the mosque. But unbeknown to the 4 cops that are now inside the mosque, somebody locked the door behind them. So the rest of the cops couldn't get in. So now you got 4 cops in a mosque getting beat up. And one of these perpetrators ripped Patrolman Cardillo's service weapon out of his holster and shot him with it.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm anyway. While everybody's getting beat up inside the mosque, along comes Rudy Andre. Rudy Andre now is locked out, and so are the other cops. There was a glass little window at the front door, and Rudy peeks in and he sees these 4 cops getting beat up and everything else, right? He makes a command decision. He pulls out a service revolver, breaks the window, and fires 3 shots over the heads of these perpetrators to scatter them. Well, the ruse worked. One of the cops was able to break away, and he opened up the door so that the other cops can get in, Rudy leading the charge. Rudy ran into the mosque itself and started chasing these people who went down a stairwell into the basement. Rudy's chasing them all the while, and on the way down there, Rudy knocks 2 of them out with his gun. Now, the perpetrators are all apprehended down in the basement. Handcuffs in, case solved. Why are we here? You know, this was an easy case. Find out who the guy was that's got the paraffin from the powder burns. He's the shooter. Get the guys that were the felonious assault on all the cops. Case closed. That's not what happened. That's why we're here. Unbeknown to the cops inside the mosque, high police commanders came to the scene, made a deal with the residents of the mosque that the cops were all to leave the mosque and that the perpetrators were all to be released. The cops were ordered, take the handcuffs off these guys. These guys are going to come back later on to an adjoining precinct later on in the afternoon. Well, guess what? It's 40 years later. They haven't come back yet. That's where we stand. That's why we're here today. Okay? Shameful. I'd say more than shameful, but there's ladies present. Disgusting. How can that happen? But it did. It did. While Patrolman Cardillo was in a hospital fighting for his life, the mayor, the police commissioner, and others were only worried about their own miserable, cowardly selves. They were worried. They weren't worried about that cop that was dying. They didn't care. Lindsay at that time was the mayor. His only concern was that he wanted to be president. His stooge, the police commissioner, God knows where this guy, he couldn't lead a bunch of Boy Scouts. Never mind grown policemen, New York City policemen. Unbelievable. Absolutely incredible.
Wrangle. Yeah, don't forget Charlie Wrangle.
And Charlie Wrangle.
Still a
Several days after the shooting, Patrolman Cardillo passed away. To add insult to injury, neither the police commissioner or the mayor had the decency to go to his funeral. It was never heard of. was never heard of. Since when a police officer dies in the line of duty and you, their boss, does not go and pay the respect? That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So after that was all done, now they're going to put Cardillo on trial. Well, he shot himself. That's what happened. Oh no, wait a minute. It could have been one of the cops that was shooting inside the mosque. One of them shot him. This is what the family had to endure. This is what the Cardillo family had to endure. That their husband did something wrong. And you know what? He did nothing wrong. Any one of us here would be in the same position. You went to a 1013. That's it. You went. That's what the job was. And it still is. You go there, you assist, you help, you do whatever's got to be done. Subsequently, because of pressure from the PBA, and the cops were howling mad in New York, howling mad that nothing was being done to investigate not only the homicide. How about the 3 cops that were beaten almost to death? They were beaten. Almost to death, they were beaten. They assigned one detective, Randy Jurgensen. Yeah, when they gave it to Randy, they figured, this guy ain't gonna find out nothing. Because Randy was given orders, he couldn't go to the mosque. He couldn't question any of the occupants from in the mosque. There was no forensics in the mosque. There was nothing. So how do you do it? How do you do it? When you can't go and you can't go talk to people, you can't do anything? Well, that's what Randy was stuck with. That's exactly what he was stuck with. And to make matters incredible, you know where Randy's office was? Next to the bathroom. Next to the bathroom of a precinct. That's where they dumped him. They dumped him there because they didn't want nothing to come out. They didn't want the bosses who were there that were incompetent, that should have been arrested. That happens today. I hope somebody takes out handcuffs and arrests them. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. You know, every year prior to this year, I read the book Circle of Six that was written by Randy Jurgensen, his investigation of the whole thing. And every time I read it, I know my blood pressure is going through the ceiling. I wake up with all kinds of heartburn. It's incredible. And this is 40 years later. Anybody that was on a job during that time knows. Well, guys after, they all know. Everybody knows. But the main thing is, as the sun is shining, the main thing is that Phil Cardillo's looking down at us from up there. And he's proud of all you guys. Proud that nobody forgot. That we keep coming back year after year, reminding people that this is why we're here. It was a travesty of justice. Travesty. Perpetrated by cowards. Freaking cowards is what they were. Unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. Anyway, thank you once again for coming. All the different chapters, Blue Knights. I know there's Wheelmen and there's all kinds of other chapters. Thank you all for remembering.
We'll never forget.
And just be aware that we're going to keep coming back year after year because no one's going to forget Phil Cardillo. And we're going to make sure that nobody forgets him. Thank you.
John.
This is my 3rd year coming back here, and every year, you know, I can't thank John enough for, you know, John and New York 10, Blue Knights, for what they do and how I'm keeping my cousin's memory alive. Every year I try to, you know, get Todd on the phone down in Florida. So Timmy Amato, who is, you know, who never, remember Cardillo is in his breath. Every word out of his mouth is remember Cardillo. Well, Timmy went out and brought Todd up today. You know, instead of trying to get him on the phone, he brought him up. So, Todd.
I'd just like to thank everybody that's here right now. This is what it's all about, the remembrance. And people like you and your organization that keep my father's memory alive. Thank you. That's all I can say.
If I could just have a moment, please. Obviously, Phil has a hook with God. He overrode the weatherman and gave us this beautiful day today. And right now, I'd just like to have a moment of silence to remember Phil and all the officers that have passed. Thank you. Ride safe today. God bless you.
Can you hold this one for 1 minute?
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to strap this around my neck. I need 4 more hands. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I don't know what to tell him. It was while the ceremony was
What is it?
I don't know if it was one of those.
Yeah, well, I saw you were stumbling up there.
Hey, how are you, buddy? What's up, John? How's things? We're plugging along.
281 motorcycles in here.
Oh, you counted? 281?
Yeah, 281. But I don't know what's outside.
We'll probably pick
Did you,
more up.
did you count Tommy in or no?
282.
282.
Last year I was a 3 1/4 in here. So I don't know what's
Let the family decide, whatever you want. You want right now.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Hey Todd, do you want to leave the wreath here or bring it to the 2-8? We normally leave it here. It's, you know, it's
John. He was
That's how you get them, right?
Hey Artie, what do you got the stick at in the car? Yeah, okay. I gotta stop by the bathroom. I gotta take a wee. 2.8, huh?